HarperCollins presents The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Laurie Gilmore. Read by Regina Reagan. Chapter 1. Archer Bayer had just become a father in the most unimaginable way possible. Not that he'd ever imagined it at all. What was a confirmed bachelor, a workaholic chef like himself, going to do with a child? He didn't even have houseplants because he didn't have time to keep them alive. And he was fairly confident that children required more upkeep than a ficus. But, according to the lawyer who had called him a week ago and disrupted his entire existence, Archer had a daughter. A little girl he had never met or heard about in the 5 years that she had been alive. And that her mother, Kate, had been killed in a car accident. And now he would never get to ask her why she hadn't told him about the kid, but had listed him as the father on the birth certificate. It was all still so insane when he thought about it. Even now, as he strode down Main Street in this bizarre little town where Kate had grown up, it didn't really seem possible. Archer, a dad? It didn't make sense. He shook his head in frustration, trying in vain to wake up. He needed coffee. He hadn't been awake this early in years. Working in kitchens across Paris had left him practically nocturnal. He rarely got home before 1 a.m. How in God's name was he supposed to take care of a little girl? The lawyer had been convinced that his daughter would be better off with him than her elderly grandmother, but Archer was not at all certain about that. Wouldn't she be better off with someone who knew what the hell they were doing? His thoughts wandered back to Kate. Despite not having spoken to her in 5 years, he couldn't believe she was gone, and now he couldn't ask her any of his hundreds of questions. Kate Carpenter. He'd met her while working in an upscale restaurant in Boston. She was front of house. He'd been a trainee chef. She was beautiful and funny. They'd only slept together a few times. He had been leaving anyway, heading to Europe to chase his insane dream of becoming a Michelin star chef. Was that why she hadn't told him about the baby? Over the years, she could have told him 1,000 times. So why hadn't she? And what would he have done? Given it all up? His dream, his perfect job, his quest to be the best. Would he have ended up in this little New England town sooner? Would he have married her? Would he have resented her for derailing the plan he so meticulously set out for himself? He swallowed the hot lump in his throat. None of that mattered now, because Kate was gone. Christ, Kate was gone, and he was here to meet his daughter. It was all so damn tragic. And Archer couldn't deal with any of it before he had coffee. This was the first time since he'd arrived that he'd ventured into the town center. It was quaint, like something from an old postcard. Quaint and incredibly small. The tree-lined street consisted of a handful of stores and ran all of about 2 city blocks. And that was it. The commercial area quickly became residential. It was nothing like the pulsing energy of Paris. His hopes of getting a decent cup of coffee were quickly fading. It was cold today, especially this early in the damn morning. The chill of winter still hadn't let go, and despite the fact that it was only the first week of March, each shop door stubbornly displayed a floral wreath or faux tulips in the window. Every single one had a sign advertising an Easter egg hunt coming soon. It was all a little too cutesy for him. Was he really going to live here? Here, inside this commercial for New England charm? He wasn't sure he could stomach it. He preferred his life to be grittier than flower wreaths and egg hunts. Store owners were beginning to open their doors, and more people filled the formerly quiet street. And, unless Archer was totally paranoid, he was pretty sure most of the people were looking at him. Wonderful. Just what he needed, nosy small-town folks butting into his business, when all he really wanted to do was
Sample complete. Ready to continue?